Gentlemen, rock and roll.
Okay, let's start with the proper stances. This is the cross step. Right leg is stepped over. The foot is at a particular angle. Notice the angles of the feet. They're both pointing primarily in the same direction. You want to always try to do this when you're doing any type of stances. Okay, there was a cross step to a half horse, to a half horse or a half stance. Notice how the feet are pointing in the same direction. Okay, there's your full. Now we're going to be showing you this different level here. Here you have a full picture. All right, just look at the pictures, try to mimic those. We're going to be showing you how to punch with them, just giving you some examples. But this is the proper structure when you're fighting. The broader your stance, the more power you can develop when you're throwing your upper torso in a circular motion, such as we're demonstrating right here. All right, we're in a full horse. Okay, let's take a look at it. Kick, bring your foot into your center. Don't dog leg it, which we'll give you an example a little bit. Step forward. Okay, there's your kick stance. Weight is on the back foot. There's a lunge. There's a knee drop. Now make sure in your knee drop that your weight goes over your hips. And we'll show you the full view in just a minute. But we want you to look and pay attention to how the feet are turned. Okay, there's a full. Okay. Notice how I brought my foot to the center and then lunged forward. Now I'm pivoting half. Back leg is fairly straight or locked if you can get it there. Keep your feet down. Notice how solid the feet are because I'm pivoting my weight in the center of my foot. Okay. Once again, the full horse. Okay, let's take a view. There's the kick. See how it came into the center. Then what do? You step forward. You never step back after a kick. If you kick a man, he's going to go back. That's why you want to step forward. Okay, kick stance. So forward lunge. Again to the knee drop. Okay, you can practice these stances in any particular order you want. This is just an example of various stances. However, these are all the kinds of stances or body structures that you will use in a fight. Okay, notice how I wind up. I throw because I stepped wide, and you always want to try to step as the length of your inseam. If you really want a perfect triangle of the body, you just measure the length of the inseam. Again, notice how I'm bringing my foot to the center, then stepping out. This allows me to change direction at will. If you dogleg, then you won't be able to do that. Okay, let's take a look from the top. The grids there were creating a cross. Okay, the reason we train our body this way, it creates center line balance movement. It's the hardest kind of balance to achieve, but it allows us the greatest choice of attack. In other words, we can attack at 360-degree angle from these positions. But you have to bring your foot in when you come to rotate your angles. When you go to a different area or a different degree to area of a circle, you have to bring your foot in and then change your direction. We'll show you what doglegging is, and you'll see how we become off balance. Again, these are examples of how to use the movements. Just give you the proper structure. Just remember, you must spread your legs. Okay, let's try a little different example here. Okay, what we're showing you here is too far extended. All right, now we'll come back. Now right there is fine. Okay, we'll show you at a different position. Let's see. This is a good structure. You can extend to there, but anything past that, you see I'm struggling. I just overextended. You don't want to do that. Okay, there's knee drop. Now there's the correct way. Now don't do it this way. You just lose all the body weight. Body weight has to go right over the hips. Okay, once again. Now watch. I lean forward. A lot of people do this because their legs are weak. You want to drop this way, puts all your weight right on that knee, and that's your zone of what you want to hit with is your knee. Now notice how I'm turning my back. I'm not really pivoting my hips, I'm pivoting my waist. I'm not throwing anything. Notice how I'm falling on my heels? Let's take a look from a different angle. All right, once again, just make sure you don't bend your back like this. Make sure you don't dog legs like that. That will cause you to fall on your heels.
They keep talking about the get ready position. They feel they have to get ready to fight. What's your position on that?
You're always ready. We're sitting here. We're trained. We don't have to move from this position to get ready. Now, if we're going to fight, we're going to move. But that's it. Your body should be in a natural coordination skill level that says, no matter whether I'm sleeping, standing, running, setting, I can take this leg and move and hit a target and end the situation. So getting ready gives the other man time to hit you. Putting up the block, maybe that's what you're talking about when you throw up your hands? Hey, how is that defending myself? Because he's hitting me. In a fight, what are you supposed to do? In a life sentence, what is your whole object? Stop the aggression. The only thing this does is allow him to hit you. If he moves, you hit him. No one can predict who's going to move first. Nobody. And they certainly can't predict where they're going to move first. But we can maintain an offensive mindset that when we move our limbs, they're not blocking, they're striking. And when they strike the body, they create chaos. Okay, I want to give you a brief example of eye jerk and chaos together. Chaos is simply what it means. It sends a chaotic state throughout the body and mind, and it gives you a chance to move. And often when this happens, the eye can't see it and the body doesn't respond to your assault movement. Okay, let me give you an example of this, a real short example of it. Okay, I'm going to use Tim here. And, okay, Tim, what we're going to do first is give the example of blocking. Blocking doesn't cause the eye jerk, and it doesn't cause the pain or the chaos. Okay, we'll do it in slow motion just to give you an example here. He throws a punch, I block. Look at his head, his arm, his shoulder, blocking it just delays the worst problem, which is he's throwing another one. Now I'm playing block. In reality, I'm being defensive, getting hit. He's being offensive, hitting me. The only way we can stop this is to change our blocks into strikes, which will do two things. Cause an eye jerk, which will cause him to think that I'm a lot faster than I really am. And two, it will hit his arm, hitting the nerve, causing pain, taking the strength out of the hand, so that when he does hit me, he'll hit me with an open hand, because even if he's really mad and doesn't feel the pain itself, it's being blocked out at the mind, the hand is feeling it, or the hand has been injured, and it will hit and probably break his fingers. And that's just fine with me. Okay, let me give you an example first of block, then I'll strike in slow motion. Blocking does this. Okay, now when I strike, the option is to come down on the radial nerve or the median nerve at such a force as a strike. You're really hitting it, it will cause the eye to jerk. Now I'll pull him to give you the example. Boom. Now you see, that's how the head's supposed to look. So now if we do this in semi-fast motion, watch the head when I do this. Now from there to there, he saw nothing. And that gives me the option to punch here. Not only does that cause it, because it's a disbalance or a chaos, the chances that he's going to throw this second punch accurately is almost zero. He may throw it, but will have no force. He'll be off balance. That's why we are telling you in our series, hit, hit, hit. Never block, never go defensive. Remember, watch your opponent. If your arms do get tired, then we'll allow you to put some pads on, but not forever. Toughen yourself up.
Okay, here's the boxing position, the get ready position. He has his arms up, he's protecting himself. But as you notice, it's very easy to knock it down. All right, if I wanted to punch him to the face, I could just punch him to the face. The way your shoulder groups work, it just isn't strong enough. Now, here again an example. This may work if I'm doing a straight punch, and we'll give an example of that. But again, it just isn't going to work when the man hooks you. There's a straight punch. Now see, it is knocking away, but that's how boxers are trained to hit. But fighters fight like that. If I want to hit your face, I hit your face. Watch. There's this jab. Sure, it works because I have no real pull, no real body balance, no real force going into it. Okay? Now, if I want to hit, I hook. See how it goes down? I'm just pulling it back. I don't want to hit Tim in the face. I'll come a little closer. Now you can see that fist go right in there, so his protection system just doesn't work. Okay, boxing positions, we're ready. We both have our fist up. He's punching me. I'm punching him. Again, because we're using the kind of protection system that most people have trained with, which is believing putting your hands up will actually protect you. I move, he moves. We both get hit. Actually, I get hit the worst. This is what you don't want to do. Okay, there we're using I'm just punching right at his face, using the correct structure that just knocks his protection system down, and I rotate, throw my body weight in, he misses me with his punch, and I get him where I want to hit him, right into the jaw. Again, I have to drive in with this. You have to be committed. Notice where my foot is, I'm stepping deep. So again, see how the structure of my arm is down? Okay, let's do it one more time. Step in, and you can see that the angle works. From the top, you can really see the angles. So my body naturally gets out of the way. I drive right through, boom, right into the chin. That's how you use the offensive fighting system. You're always hit. Okay, here we're showing you the proper ways to drive through. You have to step in. Keep your back straight. Okay, and this is the boxers. You think you're close because your head's there, but actuality, you're far away, you're not getting your penetration, and you're certainly not getting the drive like that. Okay, the overhead, once again, gives you a different point of view. You can see how the body weight drives right in. That's what you want. Okay, now look what happens in the boxer stance. I throw the power of my arm, but that isn't enough to take a big man out. Step through, you got him. Okay, here's what happens. I'm shucking and jiving, as they say on the streets, basically. I'm going to get hit. Okay, at the last, I just drive through. If you're really going to hit somebody, you step in and you throw your body weight. Not like this. You're hooking. See how I'm fighting my balance on my toes? When you step in correctly like that, you drive right through. Okay, look at the top. I'm just flicking them, the speed punching them. I'm irritating them. Okay, you're going to do it, drive right through. Okay, now there I am. I'm far away. You can see I'm just reaching him with my hands. I'm going to irritate him. That, I'm going to hurt him. So you have to step in with your body. Step in, drive through. Okay, here's a wrong position. It may look right, but see what happens? I get a jab on him. I knock him back because I didn't step in originally. As soon as I hit him, he steps back. The distance is too great. He recovers and hits me. This is sport fighting. We're not sports fighters. It may work fine in boxing, but it doesn't work good on the street. Okay, you see what happens? The proper way. Step in, step in. He never sees it coming. See, I drive through. He's just had. Once again, driving through, stepping with him. Okay, putting my Hands up in a boxing position. Look what's happening. We're banging each other because I'm staying right in front of them. We don't teach you to stay in front of people. This is what we teach you. So when you're working out, work to the side. Look at the lessons. They show you how to do this. Okay? Now, strike, go to the outside, from behind, work around him. The man becomes confused. From the top, you can see the same things happening. We're just banging each other because we're fighting from the front. We're staying right in front of each other. That's not the way you do it. Move around them, and you'll get this kind of results. Let's take one more shot here. Okay, punches, groin, kidneys, come back to the front. He really becomes confused. Okay, kicking. Don't step back. This is what happens. He's ready. Gonna kick, drive through, stay on him. Kick, drive through. You're right there. He never gets a chance to recover. From the top, kick, step back, look at the space. We're starting to fight all over. Okay, kick, step in, drive through, follow through. Never give him a chance to recover.
When you hit a nerve, it goes into the spine and then up to the brain, and then back to the spine and back to the action. And while it's traveling, the brain doesn't know why.
Right.
That's why you pick up a foot when you step on a nail. Right. You didn't say, oh, I stepped on a nail, pick up my foot. Your foot's coming up, and by then you go, oh, I stepped on a nail. And that's the perfect example of autokinematic reaction, because when you hit a person, his body flinches. In that time it takes to flinch, the information's going from the pain and making the muscles move. There's a lot of dynamics involved, but in simple terms, it takes time to go up from here and there. Now, if you hit a man and you make him flinch this way, we already know by hitting here that he flinches that way. But how do we get it across to the human being when we're training him that this is at least 70% of the learning cycle? That's why we want to give the maximum reaction to the punch. Look, not everybody's going to get hit in the solar plex and go all the way down to his knees and suck under. That's the maximum. Or bend all the way down and hold it like we do to give the mind a plant, an anchor for a memory peg that tells them, hey, when you hit the solar plex, you don't stand right in front of the guy because his head's coming down. Also, it lets you see movement so your body gets used to the bang and the movement, arms flying around, heads not being where it's supposed to. It's like, that's one of the things that I first recognized many, many years ago. I says, well, wait a minute. And I, too, said the same thing. Gee, I've hit a man at least 10 times in the face, and he's always reacted different. All right? But what I found out later is I hit him 10 different ways to the face. Just the mere angle will cause a man to react a different manner. So that's why we show techniques working from all the angles, 360 degrees, and we want, and in this tape, we want to make sure these guys realize that the reaction, the playing the game of the victim, if you will, is what teaches you why it works and how it works. The actual technique, you know what it teaches you? It teaches you coordination. It makes you coordinated. So when you do need that one move and you let your hand go, it hits that target and that is it. Okay, I want to give you a brief example, a simple example in slow motion here. We're going to show you an autokinematic reaction to both static and kinetic force. There is a difference, all right? It isn't complicated. We're going to go slow here to give you a good visual so you can think about it and learn the process and apply it to the tapes themselves, to your practice when you're actually doing it. It's very, very important. Okay, let's go to Tim here. And what we're first going to demonstrate is the autokinematic to static force. Static force is merely speed punching. This is what most people do. About 20, 30 pounds of pressure. It causes the face to get irritated, maybe get a bloody nose, maybe a little cut lip. Punch somebody in the body, you're going to get very little reaction. And people are confusing this and saying, oh, we don't get autokinematic reaction. There's no such thing. Well, let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. Okay, as a static punch, when we hit, first of all, we have no driving force, so we're not getting in to the body's natural compression. Do you know that the body will compress approximately 3 inches before it's truly affected? And when you put force behind it and you drive past the 3 inches, now you're getting into the physical attributes. You're compressing the meat, in essence, pushing against the nerves, and you're really going to get a good response. Okay, now a static response is this. Boom. He's basically not going to move much more than that. He's going to give a little jerk. Okay, try it. Boom. That's about it. He may not even put his chin down, but I want you to notice that he's rounding his back here because it's a solar plex shot. All right? He's got good muscles. He might just stand there and twitch his head down. Do that. Just like that. Okay? And you're seeing us punching here, and he's going all the way down. Now, a kinetic force, that means weight coming out of my torso, through my fist, into his body, creates an excellent response. Watch. That's how it's supposed to look. The back is round, the head is down. And it could be even more extreme. All right? Now, that's one example. Okay, so what I'm saying is every target we show you has 2 different responses, kinetic or static. All right, so here's how it works. If I was to hit Tim to the ribs on this side, he's going to wince to the pain. Obviously, if I hit him with great weighted force or kinetic force, he's going to double over and I'll break 2 or 3 ribs. And he'll look and step back in that manner if he has the capability to. All right, now, however, if I just punch him lightly or with static, maybe 20 pounds, I'll get a flinch. But even though I hit him and get a flinch, you know what's really happening? His mind is shut down and his body's flinching. And if I'm real sharp, I can add another punch while he's flinching right up here, whether his hand's up there or not, and he won't notice it. So what we're doing is we're setting up an ability to predict the outcome of our punches. And I'm telling you, they work. My life was saved. There's no way this doesn't work. You just have to be dedicated in learning it and produce power, and know that if you're going to hit with a static punch to the face, you're going to get a little reaction. If you're going to hit like a man and knock this guy's block off, in essence, he's gone away. So, to end this, remember, autokinematic reaction requires kinetic force, weighted force, to get the full reaction and ultimate damage. We recommend that you practice damaging, not irritating the body with static punching. Okay, remember that when you're applying it to your workout in the tapes. The biggest problem with being padded up, it teaches you a lie. It doesn't give you the ability to react. If you're the one being padded up, you should just stand there and take it. Come on, nobody's going to stand there and take a groin shot. Now, somebody's going to say out of this, I know they're going to say, wait a minute, I saw Master so-and-so stand and take a groin shot. Well, you know what? I have too in China. But you know what? You walk up to Mr. So-and-so and slap him in their eardrum and then kick him in the groin, that sucker collapses. Because you can prepare your body. Some people have natural dynamics, right? They have a natural dynamic. They can do certain things with their body, but the one thing they can't do is predict what you're going to do. The human being can develop so much speed, and he can only develop so much power. His body weight develops the power. His muscles and the quick twitch fiber develop the speed. So I hate to say it, some people are physically faster. But there's one thing we developed called rhythm hitting that uses speed and power naturally. It takes you to the max of where you're going. Who else can ask for more? We're taking you to your max.
Okay, here's a good example of speed punching. He's hitting 2 different target areas. He's not really hitting his target. Let's take a look at it in slow motion. You'll see basically he's just punching with his arm strength, and that just isn't enough in a real situation. Notice you can hit fast, but you can't hit fast various targets. You have to focus in, lock the body, hold the breath. This is what tires you out. Anybody can speed punch. It's for people who are afraid. Okay, here's an example of hitting hard, using rhythm. Remember, you hit a man, he's going to react, so you can't just flail away at him. You have to be able to hit right in the target you want. Okay, there's an example, solar plex, okay, liver, goes up to the head, backhands to the neck, hook. See how the body is rotating, throwing the whole weight of his body into the target zone. That's how you want to hit. That way you can hit a man once and the fight is over. Okay, all you have to do is hit your targets from the side. Step in, throw your body weight. Look how the torque is building up. This is why you can stand chest to chest to man and still have the same velocity as standing back 3 feet away, winding up, because your body is rotating in a circular manner which creates the distance for you. This is how you can fight extremely close. Now, Blake is a little farther away than normal because we want to show you how it's working. Okay, if you were hitting a man, you'd be moving with him.
Rhythm hitting is always faster than static speed. Static by meaning I move from here and I shoot it out. It's a piston type movement, and that's the speed. You know the jab? Well, you know what? If I jab like this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's never going to be as fast as 1, 2.
So, okay, Jerry, let's recap for the people how to use these tapes to correctly work out.
Clean and simple. First, they view the technique. They watch it all the way through. They listen to what we say. Don't try to do it, just view it. Second time, take maybe 3 moves at a time, all right? Look at it, try it, work back and forth, pick each other. Each one of you pick either the attacker or the fighter. I hope you understand what I'm saying. What I mean is, if, let's say you're going to be the attacker and you're going to be the fighter. So you're looking at the attacker's role, you're looking at the fighter's role to learn the autokinematic reaction to the punches. You're learning the coordination skill, the act of hitting. Okay? Then you do it, then you just reverse the roles. Do them slow. Some of them you'll be able to remember all the way through, but if you find a technique, and you'll most likely find a technique around, 5 or 6 moves, it starts getting a little hard to remember all the way through. So just take it bit by bit, and you won't have any problems.
Okay, here's an example. This is what you want to look like when you're working out. Each one of you have a job to do, and so watch how our 2 instructors are working out. Notice they're not going fast. They're learning. They know they can go fast, but you have to train the body to do all these techniques properly. Okay? Every technique has a certain coordination skill that you're learning. You may think, oh, I've seen it, but you haven't practiced the coordination skills in this particular order. And that's what blows people away when you go to fight. Because when you fight, you're doing this type of movement. So we train using variable techniques, different ones, every single time to train your coordination and your thinking skills to be able to think your way out. Now notice he didn't pick them way up. He could have. He's protecting his partner. Always protect each other. You need each other to work out. Don't go fast. Train your body to hit those targets. Then as you get comfortable with each other, your coordination skill grows, your speed picks up, but never try to go as fast as you can. Okay? Hit your targets. Stay in balance. Notice these guys aren't hopping all around.
Look, don't go fast. Hey, if I'm running down the street and I'm jogging, okay? And a dog jumps out and starts chasing me, I'm going to be as fast as I've ever going to be. Okay? I don't have to practice speed. What people are saying is they're not practicing speed. What they're doing is they're conditioning their mind to be so narrow-minded that all their action is focused on 1 or 2 moves. So that creates a robotic response, which is very, very dangerous in a fight situation. When you block when you should have struck, all right? You move when a guy has a gun and you move it like it's a punch. You step and you step off a cliff. You step off a curb because you go into your stance and you get hit by a car. I just feel so sorry for the people that have been overtrained and undereducated.
Okay, after you have a few techniques under your belt, you can do what they call free fighting. That is mixing all the lessons up any way you want. But this is how you train. You complete each lesson. Never just do 2 or 3 punches and say, okay, I'm done. You hit, you go all the way through, position yourself, take your time, get your leverage correct, make sure you do a complete system of fighting. This is how you build up this variable fighting skill to where you can choose to do anything you want, anytime you want, hit any target you want. This is the way you learn to fight. Okay, so that's how you should be working out. Nice and smooth, in control.
Certain men will take more abuse. Other men take less abuse. Why? Psychological reaction to pain. There you go. That's why you want to pick your workout partner that has the same psychological reaction to pain as you do. If you're a wimp, you pick a wimp. Okay? If you're strong, you pick a strong man. Okay? Eventually, and we know that because we've seen the guys come in, and there's always that guy who just made it in. He's struggling. He really wants to be a special operator, but you know, everybody's making fun of him. Isn't it funny? At the end of the course, everybody's going, God, I didn't know he could fight so well. Even he didn't know. Why? Because we gave him the offensive mindset, and we finally showed him how to be a man that he wanted to be. And I think a lot of people are going to get that reaction.